All right, good morning. This is video number 3, and I want to just go over a couple of things. This was your first assignment, number 43. That was due. Remember, I changed the number to a 1 to represent that it goes with video number 1. So if you need to, again, pause and check your answers. Again, and I need you to really look at my work. Your work should be looking exactly like my work. Please don't take any shortcuts. This is how it should look when you are reducing. For example, on this one, 6 into 18, 6 goes into 6 once, 6 goes into 18 3 times. 6 and 18 are no longer there, so you need to cross through. And this is a way that I can tell also that you're watching the video if your work is identical to mine. So please make sure that you're being accurate on doing those problems. So check that out. Again, check your answers. That should have already been sent to me, letting me know out of 33 how many you missed. Then flip it over. The second assignment was to do Cyrilla. Again, pause it for a moment so that you see that you've got all of the answers. Then I'm going to flip it over. You should have also done 11-1, but I'm going to have you pause it in just a moment because I'm going to go over a couple of those. A lot of these, again, we could have reduced it right there, but a couple of these get a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to go over here, and this is practice 11-1, and I'm going to look at number 1, which might have been a little bit more difficult to do. It is over 96. Okay. Then on this one, it's kind of difficult to just divide 4 into 96. Let me see if that's better. Yeah. So sometimes I'm just going to go straight across. So this is 1 times 96 is 96. 4 times 1 is 4. And then I'm going to simply divide. 96 divided by 4. That goes in twice. Subtract, bring down, and 4 goes into 16 4 times. So again, sometimes if you can't think of how many times 4 goes into that, just go straight across if the numbers are not that big. So that answer is 24. You would do the same thing with number 10, but we're also going to do number 19 because I'm sure some of you might have had a little trouble with 19. So 19 is 5/6 times 84. I'm going to put a 1 under that. And then I don't want to go straight across because my number is too big. So 2 goes into this. And remember the rule of divisibility of 3, 8, and 4 is 12. So if 3 goes into 12, 3 will go into it. And if 2 and 3 go in, 6 should go in. So I'm going to go over to the side and go 84 divided by 6. And that goes 4 times 6 is 24. Right? So I can reduce the 6 and the 18. I'm sorry, the 6 and the 84. 6 goes into 6 once. 6 goes into 84 14 times. I'm going to leave a spot for my answer. And then again, remember, we're going to go straight across and multiply what's left. 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 4 is 20. 50 and 20 is 70. And 1 times 1 is 1. So 70 divided by 1 is 70. All righty. And then again, if I were you, I would go ahead and pause this. Here are the answers for the top. Check your answers for the ones below. Alrighty, and hopefully you got 100%. I hope they were all in the answer bank. flip it over. We're going to look at the last two, so you can pause it and check your answers for toss and talk. Then flip one more over. So again, this was the squirrel riddle, number 32. Pause for a moment so you can check your answers. Alrighty. So then what we're going to do is we are going to go to the next page, which is this one. This is your page 281, and I'm going to call this 3A. There's going to be a 3A and a 3B, and those are both going to be associated with video 3. So we're going to start maybe right at the top. And it says, how do you find the product of this mentally? Well, I hope you can see 6 divided by 6 is 1. And 1 times 3/8 is 3/8. So that's pretty easy. Then, this one we're going to skip. And then we're going to go down to row 19. And we're going to do some of these. So the last time we had a whole number times a fraction, and now we've got fractions times fractions. And they're not that difficult. It's kind of the same concept. You look for a number on top and a number on the bottom that we can reduce out. So let's look at number 19. So, oh, I see 3 goes into 9. So we can divide both of those by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then that 2 is an even number with 10, so 2 goes into both of those. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And again, those slashes, you can put little tiny ones, but I just usually leave the slashes because that represents 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 5 is 15. And these mixed up answers should be somewhere on the bottom. I think it's way over here. So let's look at the next one. This is easy. So here's a 3 on the top divided by 3 on the bottom. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and nothing else goes into the 7. So 1 times 1 is 1, 7 times 1 is 7. And we are done. Find your answer at the bottom and cross it off. Then moving on. Again, anytime I'm going a little bit too fast, just pause and get everything copied down. I sort of have a time limit on my videos or they crash, so I hope I'm not going too fast. But I have to cover a lot of material. All right, so let's look at this one. Now, 6 and 20 is even. However, it doesn't go in perfectly, so I'm going to look at that 5. Oh, 5 does go into 20 perfectly, so that would be a better choice. So let's divide both of those by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 20 divided by 5 is 4. And then when I'm looking at what's left, there's 2 ways to do it. I've got 1/6 times 3 over 1, and it was 4 over 1. All right. So there's 2 ways to do this. Is I can go straight across at this point. 3 times 4 is 12. 6 times 1 times 1 is 6, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. Or you can even actually, before we do that, I can say, wait a second, I've got an even number on the top, an even number on the bottom, so I can divide both of those by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then multiply what's left. 3 times 2 is 6. And 3 times 1 is 3. And I should end up getting the same answer. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So again, you can just keep on reducing. So there are 2 methods to do that. So let's look at the next one. Let's put our answer on that number 21, which was a 2. And go over to 22. This is an easy and fun one. So I see a 2 on the top and a 2 on the bottom. That's 1. I see a 5 on the top and a 5 on the bottom. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So I've got 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. And 1 divided by 1 is 1. So that was pretty easy. Then let's go down to the bottom row. Let's look at these. So now here you've got some adding and subtracting, and then you're going to have to multiply. So what do we need to do on this? If you said get a common denominator, you are correct. So I'm going to do an upside down little t-chart. Always cross out that first column. Does 4 go into 8? Yes. Once you say yes, that is your common denominator. So we can do some of the work here, but we might have to switch it over to the paper. So that 4 needs to become an 8. So we're going to multiply it by 2, multiply it by 2. And I can start it right here. 1/8 plus 2 times 1 is 2 over 2 times 4 is 8, and bring down your multiplication like that. And then I'm going to finish it on my spiral because there's just really no room. So I've got 1/8 plus 2/8, so this is 29. 1/8, I don't need to rewrite that. 1/8 plus 2/8 is 3/8. So I can just put down the 3/8 times 1/2. And then let's look at that. I can't reduce these because a 2 is not on top along with a 2 on the bottom. Again, it has to be separated by division. So the only thing that we can do is go straight across. 3 times 1 is 3. 8 times 2 is 16. And there we go. That is our answer. So go ahead and put 3/16 and be finding all of your answers. I think that one is right here. And pause the video if you need to get this copy down before we go on to the next one. So let's go over here. Here is a 5 and a 2. We can't add or subtract those because there's different denominators. So I'm going to put again, always put the smaller number and then the larger one. Cross out that column. It's either going to be 5 or something bigger. So does 2 go into 5? No. I've said no. So when we say no, you have to find a multiple of that 5. So 5 times 2 is 10. Stop again. Does 2 go into 10? Yes. So stop. That is your denominator. So both of those denominators need to change to 10. So this one, multiply by 2 and 2, show your work. This 2 needs to be multiplied by a 5 and a 5. And we'll start it here, but we'll end up probably in the spiral. So 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 2 is 10. Minus 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. So this part we can do mentally. 8/10 minus 5/10. That is 3/10. So we have 3/10 times 3/8. Again, that is for problem number 30. And 3 does not go into 8. 3 does not go into 10. So this is one where we go straight across. 3 times 3 is 9 over 80. And go ahead and put your 9 over 80. Find that answer on the bottom and cross it off. In fact, it is right here. All right. Let's look at 31. 31. Can you guess what that denominator is going to be? If you said 8, you are correct. Does 2 go into 8? Yes. Stop. That's our new denominator. So this is going to be times 4 times 4. So let's start it here. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Minus that 4/8 times 3/7. Well, actually, this I think we can do here. If you have 4 pieces of the pizza and you eat 4, 4 minus 4 is, you've got 0 left. And then you've got 0 times 3/7. Well, what's 0 times anything? If you said 0, you are correct. So put your 0 there and find it on the bottom and cross it out. So again, on this sheet, you've got all your answer bank on the bottom. Oh, let's see if you're watching this video. All right, who's appearing with us today is Flitter the butterfly. She's how old now? She is not 20. Oh, she's 22 years old. Yes, she was born at McDonald's Kids Meal in 1998. Okay, say goodbye. Goodbye. Right. Then flip over to this side, moving words. And we're going to do a few of those. These get very messy, so I believe we're going to have to do these on the spiral. Did I put an answer? Where did we start here? All right, here we go. So again, put a number where we started showing the problems. This is number 3. This goes with video number 3. But now we're going to go to C55, which is right here. C55, and I'm going to give you some examples for C55. Let's start with number 15. So number 15 is going to be 10 over 3 times 2 over 5. And let's look at that. So let's look at this 2. Does 2 go into anything on the bottom? No. So let's look at your 3. Does 3 go into anything on top? No. Does 5 go into anything on the top? Yes, 5 goes into the 10. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Then go straight across. There's nothing left that goes into anything. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. And then this is top heavy. Remember, only 3 in the denominator means that it's a size 3 box. But we've got 4 pieces. So how many boxes can we fill? Again, that's a division. 4 divided by 3 is 1. Any leftovers go in a size 3 box. 1 filled box times 3 in every box is we've used 3 pieces. And how many are left? You should know that that is 1. So that answer is 1 1/3. And you can see all this room that it took up. There's no way that you can do those on the worksheet, that bottom row for sure. So that is going to be 1 1/3. If you're doing the puzzle, might need to put it down here, 1 1/3. Right. So if you're doing the puzzle, you would find that answer and put the word street. If you're not doing the puzzle, you must still go ahead and find it and cross off your answer. Right, again, pause anytime I'm going too fast. Let's write down the number 16. Number 16, 12 over 5. 5 over 8. All right, 16 actually starts out kind of easy. So those 5s, right away, 5 divided by 5. And then 8 and 12 are both even numbers, so 2 can go into them. But again, always try to double it. 4, let's see, 4 will go in. Oh yes, 4 goes into both. So the bigger the factor that goes in, the more you'll slim those down. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So again, go straight across. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. And again, that is top heavy. So 3 divided by 2 is 1. So 1 times 2, we've used 2 pieces. We had 3. How many are left? And you are right, it is 1. So our final answer is 1.5. And bring that over. And it is right here. And then look at this next one. Now these numbers are getting bigger. And this is the whole point of us cross-reducing. I don't want to go 20 times 14 and get a big number, and then 7 times 15 and get another big number, and then try to figure out how to reduce it. So we're going to reduce right in the beginning. So on that 17, again, it is going to be write it on your spiral. It is going to be 20 over 7 times the 14 over 15. And let's look at this. So I'm going to start with that 7. That 7 goes into the 14. Great. 7 into 7 once, 7 into 14 2 times. And then 15 and 20. Well, it ends with a 5 and a 0, so you should know by your divisibility rules that 5 will go into both of those. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. 20 divided by 5 is 4. And then go straight across. 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 3 is 3. And then I've got 8 pieces, and the box holds 3. How many filled boxes can I make? 8 divided by 3. Looks like it goes twice. And put any extras in the leftover size 3 box. So 2 times 3, we've used 6 pieces. How many are left? Is 2. So our final answer is 2 2/3. And let's go ahead and put that right there. And find your answer. Where is that? Uh-oh, did I make a mistake? Oh, no, I did not. Okay, 2 2/3 is right over here. And cross it out, or you can put the word 60. And let's continue. Write down on your spiral your number 18 while I'm writing mine. All right. Well, we're getting some sunshine in here, so let me see if I can scoot this down a little bit. All right, so here we go. So here is the 10 over 9 and 27 over 4. So I'm going to look at 4 first of all. 4 doesn't go into 10, but they're both even numbers, so that's divisible by 2. So we can divide this by 2 and get 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then the 9 goes perfectly into 27, so we're dividing both of those by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1. 27 divided by 9 is 3. So let's see what we have left. And go straight across. 5 times 3 is 15, divided by 2. So 15 divided by 2. We can fill up 7 fill boxes with 2 pieces in it each. So 7 times 2 is 14. And there is 1 left over. So again, make sure that your work is looking like that. When we're cross-reducing, the 9 and the 27 are gone. So you should represent that they're gone by having that little slash drawn through those. All right, that was number 18, which is 7.5. And find your answer. Can I find that answer? 7.5. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Okay, it's right here. Yeah, always check to make sure that you're getting 100% accuracy. So now copy the number 19, onto your spiral. Number 19 is 20 over 33 times 11 over 30. And I might as well copy number, we're going to skip 20. I'm going to let you do 20, and we're going to do 21, which is 8 over 9 copy that one, times 15 over 6. I think these are the last two we're going to do, so here we go. So 11, right away I can see that 11 goes into 33, so we're going to divide both of those by 11. 11 goes into that 3 times. And then look at the 20 and the 30. 5 goes into them, but we can slim it down more if you see that 10 goes into those. So let's use a 10. 20 divided by 10 is 2. 30 divided by 10 is 3. And again, I cannot cross off 3 and 3 because there's not a division line separating them. So that is straight across multiplication. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 3 is 9. And that is our answer for 19, and I'll transfer that in just a moment. Let's go ahead and do the 21. So let's look at maybe 6 and 8. They're even numbers, and if I double it, that's 4. 4 goes into 8, but it doesn't go into 6, so it has to be 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Then look at the 9 and the 15. Well, 9 doesn't go into that, but the factors of 9 are 3 times 3. And doesn't 3 go into 15? Yes. So we can divide both of those by 3. We can reduce it out by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And again, the rule is you multiply what is left. So this is going to be 9. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm adding. 4 times 5 is 20 over 3 times 3 is 9. And then how many times does 9 go into 20? That is going to be 2 times. And 2 times 9 is 18. We've used 18 pieces to fill up those 2 boxes. 20 minus 18 is 2. Again, if you look at the original number, so let's go ahead and put down those answers. 2 9ths and 2 and 2 9ths. So that was 2 9ths and 2 and 2 9ths. Again, we reduce first because look how big those numbers would have been if we multiplied straight across. So with that, your assignment is going to be to finish all of moving words, and you're going to finish all of page 281. Again, if you have any trouble, shoot me a little snapshot of the problem that you're having trouble with, or ask a parent, and these will be due on Tuesday, and I will send your parents an email if they have to take a snapshot of either of these for you to send to my email. You all have a great day.